obviously in this market, I've seen anywhere from like 40 to 50% of the offers when I represent a seller do waive a home inspection.
What's up, everyone? This is Chris from Homestead Funding, and today I'm here with Marianne from Procopio Real Estate and Scott from Brightside Home Inspections. And we're all kind of different parts of the transaction, right? We all kind of represent different things of throughout the home buying process. When someone has an offer accepted, right, that next step is to get a home inspection, right, in a perfect world. So Scott, that's really where you come in, right?
Yeah, so once the offer is accepted, the buyer will bring us in and we'll educate them on the house and give a focus on the negative parts, the things that are wrong with the house, so they can decide if they're making a decision that they're happy with.
So first-time buyers, obviously they're very green to the process, right? So what are some maybe major things they need to be concerned about versus some minor things that they can maybe take care of after closing?
Sure. Some of the things that we want to be looking for and talking about after the inspection, aluminum wire would be a good one. That's going to be typically in houses built in the mid-60s and 70s, and that's a fire safety hazard and typically expensive to correct. Older houses, things like knob and tube wiring can be an issue, something to talk to an electrician about. And galvanized steel plumbing is an item that can be expensive and reduces water flow. So these are some of the bigger things with the older houses. A really common one, it's a safety issue, as well as a Federal Pacific panel, which is another fire safety hazard that folks typically want to get addressed.
Gotcha. Now, Marianne, like in this market we've just seen recently, right? Like when you're submitting an offer, some people are like, should I have a home inspection? Do I have to have a home inspection? So like, what do you tell your client that's like trying to be as competitive as possible, but also maybe like wants to have a home inspection done?
Now, obviously in this market, I've seen anywhere from like 40 to 50% of the offers when I represent a seller do waive a home inspection. And what that means is that they're waiving their right to negotiate any further repairs or credits or anything needed to make this purchase make sense. That's a huge deal, because if you back out later, you might be breaching contract at that point.
Right.
So my recommendation is to talk with your realtor about maybe making it seen as pass fail, maybe making it in the verbiage in the contract as for buyer's knowledge only. The only reason why sellers maybe are slightly concerned or look past offers that request it is because if you have another offer that waived it, it's one less step for them to worry about. I actually usually call the loan officer just to make sure, like if it is a bigger expense. Actually, he was the home inspector on one where foundation was an issue and there was a hole in the roof in the garage. So it was a little bit of a more pricier repair that I had to negotiate, but we ended up splitting it. But because it wasn't just like $1,000, I didn't want to jeopardize my client in any way because I don't see the financials.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know exactly what their debt to income ratio is. I don't know exactly how much you might have told them, especially if they're an FHA buyer. There's got to be a certain level of reserves in there. I don't know those things because I don't do the application, nor do I need to know those things. I rely on, like Chris to, guide me on where do we really need to be, But if it's something like that, before I propose that back to the seller and have my buyer sign on that, I call the loan officer. Hey, if we did this as an addendum, are we good?
You nailed it in the beginning too. Is like you always want to like make sure a loan officer is in the loop of that and like make sure the reserves are there, that whatever that the loan officer or the bank is going to require and need, that that's kind of spelled out at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much. That was a ton of like really good stuff, informative stuff there. So I thank you for coming on, sharing all that stuff with me. Again, I'm Chris Madden. That's Marianne from Procopio Real Estate. Scott from Brightside Home Inspections. So thanks for watching.